Hello guys, today I want to talk about a certain topic that has gained a lot of negative connotations over the last century, as well as previous centuries, but we'll get to that. That is patriotism. Patriotism, for the purpose of this video, is to be proud of the different cultural heritages that are tied to a certain region that are part of your personal identity. They do not need to be a country. They can be a country, continent, region, hometown. It can be a number of different things. It can even be a global experience. So patriotism, again, is being proud of the certain cultural heritage that and society that is tied to a certain region that is part of your identity, whether you were raised there, born there, lived there, whatever the case may be, is part of your identity. Patriotism is not inherently good or bad, and I want to address this specifically now because it's pretty much a choice you make. It's like religion. You can believe or you cannot believe. It's up to you really, and by the end of the day. And while it can inspire good things and bad, it can also inspire bad things. And it just depends where. It just depends on the person. I am personally patriotic about a series of different regions, including Catalan-speaking regions, Scotland, England, the United Kingdom overall, English-speaking regions, Spanish-speaking regions. So, I am proud of more than one region, but at the same time, that does not make me isolationist. I can look at different cultures such as that of Japan, India, China, or whatever, and be able to appreciate what the contributions that have been made are. So I want to distinguish different types of patriotism in this video. Patriotism can be blind because you are you are patriotist just because you are a patriot just because. Um, that is not necessarily bad. It can lead you to do a series of good things, but at the same time, it can lead you to do a series of bad things such as violence and oppression. What I do consider to be the best form of patriotism is for the people to actually understand the society and culture behind that, and then make their own conscious decision of whether they are proud or not about the region or what about their heritage. And this by no means needs to include every aspect of that heritage of the history of this or the society. You may not like the cuisine. You may not like that certain parts of the history are bleak and dark. You may not like that there has been totalitarian governments in your country. You may not like a series of different aspects, and that does not need to keep you from being patriotic about your country or region or whatever. It does not need to. You do not need to accept every aspect of the society to be patriotic about that society. And that is something that apparently many people have started to forget in the recent years. And for instance, within Spain, if you, it's quite funny because this is internally, but at the same time, it's quite sad to see. If you are not a tourist and there's no kind of international sports event or cultural event going on, or some kind of I don't know, governmental thing going on at the time, wearing the Spanish flag in public will get quite a few people to look at you in a negative way, and even call you a fascist just because you are wearing that flag. Whether it's in your car or on your t-shirt, whether it's the actual flag itself that you are carrying, it will get you a lot of bad views. At the same time, if you wear a number of different regional flags, I'll just cite Catalan because I've spoken about it. If you wear the Catalan flag in the regions, especially in Catalonia, you'll get quite a few people, ignorant people, that will tell you that you are an independentist just because you are in the Catalan flag. And I'm talking about the Catalan flag, not the Stelada here. Being patriotic or appreciating culture does not mean that you blindly accept every aspect about that culture or you adhere to a certain number of beliefs. You may be, I don't know, in Europe and North America, the predominant religion is Christianity, but you can be a number of different religions and still be patriotic about that particular region. You could be Muslim, you could be Hindu, you could be atheist, you could be whatever you want to decide, and that's completely fine. It does not contradict. Patriotism does not mean that you need to blindly accept every aspect of the society, nor does it mean that you isolate yourself from different societies and you are not able to appreciate them. I, for instance, again, uh, I'm patriotic about the United Kingdom, especially England and Scotland, because they are part of my maternal side of the family. Then I'm so proud of my Spanish-speaking regions and Catalan identity that I've got throughout the years because I speak the language. I'm proud of completely all of that, but at the same time, I appreciate different cultures, such as Japan, such as the Netherlands, which is why I'm learning Dutch in the first place. So, being patriotic is not mutually exclusive with living in a global society, and quite ironically, there is a lot of cultural revival movements at the moment, especially seen well in the continent of Africa. And this is no insult in any mean. I am happy for any kind of cultural appreciation, especially if it's a local one. However, at the same time, I am sad that if you are patriotic about a certain number of regions, they automatically assume that you hold a certain number of beliefs, and other people can be patriotic of their country and not get any kind of criticism. This is just an hypocrite. I believe it's just hypocrite perspective on society overall. So this actually boils down to one of the themes I want to cover with these videos is that many social problems, many cultural problems boil down to stereotypes, stereotypes and ignorance. So where I'm going at is you can be patriotic and you can still like the global society. I like, again, those regions. I like the culture of different countries such as Japan and the Netherlands, but I also appreciate at the same moment this global society. Global society again is not inherently wrong either. It has a lot of positive things such as opening the borders and being able to go to explore different regions across the globe. But at the same time, it also has a really similar effect as to what I was talking about in the previous video about vernacular against interregional practices. The problem is, it's when one arises over the other and they start to be mutually exclusive. And it does not need to be the case. It just, why? You can be proud of a number of things, and they do not need to contradict each other. You can like a certain style of architecture and like something that looks completely different. You can like a certain kind of food, and then you can like something really salty and then appreciate something really sweet. It all boils down to, the prejudices and ignorance that eventually leads to some kind of fight between two different sides. And that is definitely not the case. It does not need, sorry, they are not mutually exclusive. And basically, I am inviting you, if there's anyone there that fears of being patriotic because of the opinions of certain people, just be patriotic because it's a conscious decision that you have made, and as long as you're not hurting anyone actively, you're not seeking to harm others. There's nothing wrong about being patriotic. You can be completely patriotic, and I'll address, for instance, in this case, the German viewers in the future. You can be patriotic about Germany, and I invite you to do it. I know that it is hard to have a black history behind. A dark history behind. And I know it feels dangerous to be patriotic about your country after those really bleak years, but it is not by being ignorant to the past that you eventually move on. It is by understanding the errors and mistakes that were done in the past that you eventually grow out and you are able to advance as a society. So if anyone out there is fears of being patriotic because of a series of associations some people make about the country, do not let that stop you. Be proud or not of your country. It's really up to you in the end. I just don't want people I just want people to have the freedom to appreciate or not whatever they want to appreciate. And that pretty much summarizes what the video is about. Bye.